Hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right. So let's go ahead and jump on into today's topic video. It is for the 30th. Just know you guys will be getting kind of an alternate bonus message as well, because I recorded one, and as seems to be happening a lot on my channel lately, it says it'll take 24 hours to process. So I'll release it whenever I possibly can. Sorry to keep you guys waiting on that one, but it'll come out just as soon as I can release it. But in the meantime, just know these are the videos where I keep the comments on. If you want to type the word compassion in the comment section, it gets you entered to win for next Monday. Each Monday, I go through and randomly select a winner and do a fictional storytelling for that person on Monday. So we have earth and grounding for our big message for the 30th right now. Okay, so we could have somebody that's taking a walk outdoors. They could particularly find a lot of peace being outside, like in a field, or seeing, like this is if you're in the northern hemisphere like I am, a lot of things have already been harvested, and a lot of, things have already been like tilled back in. So you see some barren fields, or you see what's left of like cornfields and pumpkin patches and such. So we could have somebody who's like seeing an agricultural landscape and recognizing, like, what that speaks of, the fact that everything has a cycle, a growing season, a season where it needs to lay dormant, a season where, you till the earth, where you bring in amendments to the soil. But it could just be that somebody's like really like referencing the seasons of our life as well. We have a King of Pentacles, so possibly a Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus masculine who seems to be living, the life of luxury right now. If somebody is feeling grounded, this person does not necessarily seem completely grounded in the sense that they're here on a yacht. We got the Ten of Pentacles. I don't know, though. This could be possibly an individual who's like, I have wealth, I have money, I have so much good stuff around me, I can't even take time to open up all the prezzies I've got. Three of Cups. Okay, I do not think that this person is grounded. I'm not begrudging somebody who's got everything going well in their life. I don't mean to sound like that, but everything that is going well seems excessive. I'm not just, enjoying my life. I'm laying out here on a yacht with two people standing there to attend to my every whim of putting new ice in my glass and, waving palm fronds over me. I have so many presents coming in that it's this, glut of, I don't even have time to open them all. It's not just me hanging out with friends. It's me being the life of the party, and I have to be the center of attention, and everybody, every night has to be like this huge movie quality, like party in Ibiza till 3:30 in the morning, or till the sun comes up, with, stars and, expensive champagne. That doesn't seem like somebody who's grounded. That seems like somebody who's living like extreme excess, and it's gluttony all the time. Ooh, King of Cups sideways. Okay, so we either have somebody who is contemplating another person's life, and they're like, wow, either this is who I used to be and I really freaking regret it. It was all about the party. It was all about the, expensive this, expensive that. Even if this wasn't all them enjoying the life of luxury, maybe they were very attached to wanting to, like, be a toady for a really rich person, and it's like, at least I could get a glimpse of what their life was. And, I wasn't the rich one that owned the yacht, but I got to, work on the yacht. I got to be around the wealth. It could be something like that. And this is somebody getting way more grounded, but it's also somebody feeling regretful. This is somebody, the reason I think it's him reflecting is because now he wants something real. Now he's grounded. Once upon a time, I think he was after flashy. He thought he either needed to have like really exciting, really, huge amounts of wealth to have a fulfilling life. And this says something about his alone. We have the Hermit. He is wishing for something real. He's sitting here pretending to read books just out in public so he can get a glimpse of other people that maybe are having more sincere love stories. It's in love, but we definitely have somebody who chased all the bright and flashy stuff to an extent that it cost them something real. And I'm guessing he's dressed pretty humbly now. I'm guessing he didn't end up super wealthy. I'm guessing he's older at this point and he doesn't have anybody in his life. He's starting to wish that he had an emotional bond to somebody, so much so that he's like watching other people. He's also longing for his youth. Eight of Wands. If only I had that time back, but I squandered it. I was too full of myself. I didn't even want to put down roots and build like a long-term relationship. I thought that either the fun and the wine would never run out. I thought that the hot people would always be in my life for superficial connections. I thought I'd always be, whatever, at the top of my game, have tons of money, always be the most sought after person. Oh my God, they're like bartering and haggling now. Okay, so somebody has had a significant collapse of their fortunes. And on October the 30th, it's just really hitting them. But this is kind of good because they're getting grounded. But this is somebody's fall from grace. We're going to say his, just because we keep seeing a masculine, but bear in mind it could be a woman just as easily as a masculine. But this is somebody who's like, I am reduced to like bartering for money now. I don't even have anything that I can like what I've got to offer. But once upon a time, I had so much money all the time. I had so much access to everything. Nine of Pentacles. Okay, so he invested poorly somewhere because probably of his lust for the shiny things, the rich life. I think that he got himself, well, in this case, got himself into a poker game with a cheat, but I think he invested in anybody who had the allure of he would, he could have more shiny and flashy stuff, even though he knew that this person was not to be trusted, right? This person didn't hide their face. Their mask is up. They're an open cheat. But I think he decided to go into business or into something with a cheating. Like this could have been a business partner, and he's like, I still want to work for you because you own the yacht. You have all the expensive stuff. I don't care if you're corrupt. Look at the life that I can kind of like dance with you in this expensive world. So sure, I'll throw in my lot with you. And then he wound up getting swindled by the very person that he either wanted to be like or who told him that I'd be the gateway and the access to riches and wealth and, beautiful cars and women or, whatever the fantasy life was. For a little bit, he's like, I had access to that or thought I was going to, and what kind of a fool was I? Now here I am and I don't have any of it. I don't have the money. I'm having to barter, hawk stuff at the pawn shop. And I think back to all the time that I could have really used my time wisely to develop something, develop relationships, develop a business, develop my skills. And instead, I was too busy trying to get in bed with a cheat just so I could maybe have a fast track way to not just wealth, but like gross excesses of it. That's the route that he took. And it did not turn out well. High Priestess. I don't know if he had somebody in his life that warned him, like, what are you doing? That person sounds pretty corrupt. It almost feels like somebody warned him, like, this is not going to go well. We have the Star, but on this Star card, we have a Magician. And this is all about sleight of hand. I feel like he may have tried to cheat or lie to a High Priestess, and she could see right through it. She might have said, if you think this is your wish come true, it's not going to go well for you. But also, if you think you can lie to me, I can see right through it. You're a flim flam man. You're doing anything you can to try to get money. You're cheating your way through things. This is all games, but you're going to end up getting scammed because you're running with scammers. And now here you are trying to scam me. Okay, this is all his mindset. This is him thinking back now that he's feeling more grounded. He is thinking back to the mistakes that he's made. Why is this coming up on the 30th? Because this is like, whew, this is hitting hard. Why is this all coming up on the 30th? Seven of Swords. I don't know if he recently got played by somebody and that was like maybe in love, maybe somebody else, just lied to him, cheated on him, something like that. It almost feels like everything that he engaged in, basically, that's what his life has become. If he tried to lie to a High Priestess, tried to cheat, tried to pretend he was something he wasn't, or tried to do something sly on the side, she knew, but now somebody did that to him. And that seems to be the culmination. Like he's been like, things have been falling apart for him, one thing after another, after another, after another, right? The money, the wealth, all of that's gone. The person that he, you know, thought he was gonna, that he knew was a scoundrel, but he got into like business with, has indeed taken his money. He's pretty much left with a lot of reflections right now. And now somebody in a romantic setting possibly has turned out to also be a liar. Five of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles. You know, the one great thing about this is that it has reduced everything, stripped it all away to where we're down here at the core of everything, right? Yes, this is a very tough day for this particular person. Everything they chased after, everything they lusted for, that taste of huge wealth, all of that fell apart. And along with it, their opportunity for love. And along with it, they, you know, because they weren't ever like choosing a path that was maybe more honorable, turns out they engaged with people who also were dishonorable. And now it's like, it's really sad. I've lost a lot because I wouldn't do things the right way. I just wouldn't build and grow fairly. I just wouldn't do it the right way. And now I'm here as a Page of Pentacles, which is actually a good place to start over. This is not a bad thing. Remember, this is a great card. It's about getting grounded. It's about seeing there was a cycle of my life where I was an absolute freaking fool and I was selfish and I was only after the flashy. And wow, did I choose wrong. And it brought me right back down to the earth, right back down to the ground. And now if I want to learn from this lesson, I could do things totally differently now. What does that mean? Are you about to start doing things differently? Is this your day? Well, it starts with an apology. Who are you saying sorry to? He almost like wants to run to somebody to say sorry. Is this the High Priestess that you tried to swindle? Who is this? Ten of Pentacles. Every person that was great to me, the family that I didn't stick around with, the love story that I could have had, but you know, I didn't invest, the people I haven't been there for. This is like a day of an apology tour. This is a day of a great reckoning for someone. Ten of Cups. Ten of Pentacles and Ten of Cups. He's got to go say sorry to like every person that family is the first step, and then a romantic person, somebody that he actually did love. I'm guessing probably the High Priestess, because he tried to swindle her too. And she saw right through it because she's a High Priestess and she's the person who probably warned him. And he thinks of her after thinking or paying attention to like other people in love stories, and he's sitting here by himself. I would say that it's fair to say that the High Priestess is somebody that read him like a book, saw, you know, the wrong tracks he was going on, knew that he was trying to swindle her, didn't like what she saw in his behavior. I'm guessing she's probably the person that he also wants to go say sorry to with that Ten of Cups. It's like he's sorry that he blew all of these things that he had. He actually had real value in his life. He had people that really did care about him. He had the chance at great love. He had maybe great connections with his family. And then just he kept picking like this fast track to get really, really wealthy and live some like party lifestyle. And it all collapsed. But the people that he most wants to say sorry to is all the real ones, you know? He wants to say sorry to all the real ones. The Sun sideways, it's not because he thinks that that's going to make them happy or even make him happy. It's just because it's the right thing to do. It's just Ten of Swords. In fact, he doesn't think he'll fix anything with anybody. It's just something he wants to do because he's finally getting grounded. This is him trying to say, I don't know that I'll ever get back in anybody's life. He might have burned a lot of bridges, but I at least, this is the beginning of me not acting the way I used to. We have the Devil, we have the Two of Wands. This is the beginning of me saying I have a choice. I don't have to choose toxic things anymore. This is the day that I stop. And the first way I can prove it to myself is to go and say sorry and take accountability for the people that I jilted, you know, when I was so hell bent that I was going to choose these crazy party and, kind of cheapskate um, ways to live my life, trying to get ahead by dirty means. We have a Three of Wands, we have the Moon in the reverse. All I can say is, while he doesn't expect anything great to come out of this, he just wants to choose better for himself. This says you never know, though. When you get yourself on a different set of train tracks, and if you are consistent, you stay on that different set of train tracks, he may still have a chance at someday she might want to talk to him again. This could be the High Priestess that will, at one point in time, say, if you really are making change, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe we'll talk again. If you really are making change in your life, who knows? This says the future is yet to be revealed, but he won't know the results of things until probably about 3 months from now. And that's probably because he has to start making good decisions, better decisions, and really prove to himself that he's a different person. People aren't just going to welcome him back into the fold right away. He's going to have to earn his way back. There is very great potential that at minimum his life is going to start to turn around simply because he's not choosing the party lifestyle and stuff. So we know he's going to have an improvement no matter what. But this definitely feels like it's going to take time to get back into anybody's good graces, but so well worth it. And in so many ways, this is such a great story because he's turning his life around. This is the beginning of him getting grounded and fixing things first for himself. But what could happen in the future could be absolutely beautiful. His life will get back on a better track, and he may still have that High Priestess in his life a little bit later on. I say that particularly because of the moon. All right, let's do a quick little birthday message for the 30th. We have got the Four of Wands. That's beautiful. This could be a year for somebody to really get their life very organized. This could be a year somebody gets married. We double down on that with the Hierophant. Okay, beautiful. Strong Taurus energy. And we have a 10 of Wands. There's a strong spiritual energy coming through this year, as well as a belief possibly in long-term longevity in a marriage, a relationship, a business, anything that brings our life greater balance. I see better business connections and possibly a better marriage with kind of like a reset button in it. This is like a year where a character is going to have significant growth, where they're like, oh my God, my life finally feels on track. It feels balanced again. It feels like a lot of heaviness from the past has been dissolved. And it's got to do with a character really believing in listening to their higher self and believing in a positive outcome for themselves. It's when we put our energy into building instead of deconstructing, instead of shaming ourselves, into forgiving ourselves and moving forward. But this could be the year somebody gets married, the year their business blows and really does really well. And it's a year where they feel lighter. That's beautiful. You guys, thanks so much for being here. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. Bye.